Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Austin. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a few car buying tips today. These are things that I've kind of figured out over the years, and also I used to work at a car dealership out of college just for a year, but during that time I figured out some different tricks of the trade that they use to I guess get you to buy, um, especially about high pressure things like that, and payments. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So first things first, when looking at a car to buy, if you're looking at anything, always do your research, do your due diligence. You want to make sure you're checking on your vehicles that you're looking to buy. So I always have a few different ones I like to look at and compare. I never just look at one vehicle and say that's it. I like to see what's out there for brands and see what the best option is for me. Obviously, the first thing for me is the looks of it. I need to love how it looks, otherwise I'm not going to drive it. So find what you like to drive, figure out what you're looking for, and then make sure that it does not have any massive issues. So certain things like the new Tundra that just came out during the first year, it had issues where they did not clean the engine good enough during assembly. So that engine actually came apart and would end up blowing up. So different things like that, you want to make sure you're looking for the major problems that vehicles have before you buy them. So you don't want to buy a vehicle and it blow up and you have a problem right off the bat. So that's the first thing, is make sure you do your research, make sure that it fits your needs and your budget. You know, you don't want to be looking for an Escalade when you really can just afford a Tahoe, you know what I'm saying? So that's a pretty different gap, and that's why they make the different ranges. I think everybody wants wants a nicer vehicle, but just make sure you're not getting in over your head when you buy a vehicle. That's a terrible feeling to have, is be way in over your head under payments, or have negative equity, and then not be able to make your payments, get repoed, and you're in a really bad position and your credit's trashed. So first things first, make sure you fit that, and find the car that you like. Once you do that, talk to your insurance as well. Make sure the coverage is not outrageous for your vehicle. You want to make sure that that your insurance is decently priced. Now you can check with other insurance too, but they're all going to be probably around the same. But check your insurance so that you're just not crazy. Some sports cars obviously have very high insurance when you really wouldn't think it'd be much different, but just because they can really send it and have a high horsepower, that changes how insurance sees vehicles, and you might have a way higher cost to repair it if parts are hard to find as well. So the next thing I do then is also check Kelley Blue Book to get your general idea of what your price you're looking at should be. You can add all your different options in that, and you can check your mileage of the different vehicles, and that'll help you get a rough idea of the price that dealers will charge or look for, and then what private party will look for as well. Dealers are going to be higher in price, where private party is going to be lower typically. Let's see here. If you're looking for different vehicles too, you can look at different sites. I use AutoTrader, Cars.com, Car Gurus, and then I use Facebook Marketplace for everything that's not from a dealer, that's private party. There also is some sites like bringatrailer.com and Cars and Bids that I look at too. Those are auction sites, so that's a little bit different, but still good options. And I actually like Bring a Trailer. They have this big graph for certain vehicles. I think actually all vehicles that they sell, you just got to find it, but they have this graph of the vehicles and how they've sold over the time, where they have these outliers, so super high and super low. Obviously very high mileage or very low mileage on the top, or like a special edition. That helps me understand where people are actually buying these cars at, because I don't ever want to overpay for a vehicle. So that's a good thing on Bring a Trailer that I really like. Any more information that you can gather before you buy is great, because getting a good deal is always it always feels better, right? So make sure you're doing that. Do your due diligence really well. When you're looking at a private party, you're just going to have what the guy has to say, or gal has to say about the vehicle. I always like to have a inspection done if you're not very mechanically savvy yourself. But if you're just looking at it, and the best thing you can look at right away is look at the body. Make sure that there's no scratch, no dents, everything lines up. Look at all your body lines to make sure that there's no big cracks or smaller or larger spaces along the hood line and around the trunk. So that's always a good thing to look at when you're looking at vehicles. You always want to keep those in your pocket if you're still interested in the vehicle, to barter with the dealer or the private party guy. So you don't ever want to show your hand before you make a deal. So getting the best deal is the best thing for you. And so yeah, you want to make sure that you're getting the best deal. You don't want to be overpaying for these vehicles, especially for something that's been wrecked or that's been repaired. So try to get as much information from them as possible. Talk less, ask them questions, see if they'll kind of spill if anything's happened, if it's been reliable, if it's had any issues. Sometimes cars have random issues, like they'll draw the battery down if something's wrong, different things like that. Let's see. One thing also, buying private party, you're going to have to get your own Carfax report, but I would recommend doing that. It's maybe $10 or $20. It just checks to see if there's any damage reported before. A dealer will give you that. A good dealer will always give you that to make sure that there is no damage. If there is damage, then the value of that car just went down. Don't let them talk you out of that. Even if it's hitting a deer, no matter what. I hit a deer with my pickup and it cost $8,000. So, and I had to get a whole new bumper, whole new radiator. The whole front end was pretty well smoked. I hit it going over 70 miles an hour. So make sure you're doing your due diligence. You want to make sure you're buying a good vehicle and not something that's going to break down on you quickly. You want to buy something that's reliable. So, when you're looking at titles like that, stay away from lemon or water damage titles. Lemon law essentially means that there was an issue that they could not resolve, and the manufacturer bought it back from the person it was sold to. So I had this happen in college, or just out of college. I sold a Jeep Cherokee to a couple. They were replacing a much older Jeep, and well, it didn't last very long. It was a few weeks later, and he said that the battery kept dying and dying. So we took it in to see what was wrong, and the dealer that I was working at could not trace it and could not find the draw. So something major was drawing it down every week and was killing the battery. So they ended up lemon lawing it, giving them a different vehicle, which was good. Got them taken care of, but that was not a good situation. So stay away from those. Stay away from water damage titles. You do not know how far that water went up. Water and electrical does not mix. So when you have water up to any electrical connections, it will just corrode, and there's just no fixing it. I would stay far, far away from anything like that. So after titles, one good thing to remember or think about is if you're looking at buying a vehicle, I would look at them towards the end of the month. The end of the month is the better time to buy. Dealers are looking to meet certain sales quotas. At the end of the year as well, that's even a bigger quota they're looking to meet for the year. But yeah, look at vehicles towards the end of the month and look at making a deal. That'll help you have a little bit more leeway, I guess. They may run a deal that they may have not at the beginning of the month, just to meet a certain 200 or 300, whatever their goal is, depending on the size of the dealer, to sell how many cars per month. So that is a good little tip. And then just be ready for high pressure. So every dealer is going to have some sort of pressure. If it's from the salesman, it's from the manager, or if it's from the finance manager. You will always have pressure. That's their game. So don't succumb to the pressure. It's good to just know that there will be pressure for you to buy when you go in there. And just be ready for it. It's nothing you can't handle. But just be ready for the certain questions they're going to ask you. They're going to ask, what can we do to get you to buy today? They're going to focus on your monthly payment. So when you go in there, they're really not going to worry about price that much. They're going to specifically worry about your monthly payment. So if you're looking to keep it at $500 a month, for example, they don't care if it's 6 years or 7 years. It doesn't matter to them. They just want to get you approved, and they work with many different lenders to do that. Now you think maybe that's great, but it's not great, because they will get you in at a super high interest rate, which is going to end up costing you more money than it should. So always focus on the price, stick to that price, and if you're looking at a vehicle, the way I negotiate is if say a vehicle is $25,000 and you know they've got some room in it, they've had it for a little while, they've dropped the price a little bit, so you know they've kind of sucked some of their markup in it out, you could still go in there and try to offer maybe 21, 22 and see where they come down to. So a lot of times, if they're really serious about making that deal, you can throw that number out there and they will throw something maybe back like 24, and you could then throw back and say 23 and I'll sign today, and you're good to go. So a lot of times that works, sometimes it doesn't. They'll haggle with you, and that's just a game. You're gonna play back and forth with your salesman and the sales manager. So just be ready for that. You're just gonna kind of play cat and mouse there, but you've got all the cards. You can walk out at any time. So don't feel like you're stuck in the situation unless you've signed something. So just be ready. Be ready for that. It's actually fun when you know what you're doing and you've been there before. Just looking at it from the outside, you can just leave. And when you leave, that sales manager will do anything to get you back. If they can sell you a car, they will. So just don't be afraid to walk out if the deal's not right. If they don't come down, some will say this car is perfect and you're not going to find another one. Well, there's tons of cars out there. I'm sure there are some vehicles you can't find like that, but don't be afraid to walk away from a certain deal. Pressure is there. that is what they do, is high pressure. So let's see here. They also will add different accessories if that's something you like floor mats or running boards, whatever. But they'll just give them to you at cost for their cost and say that they're at that market value. But that certain way you can kind of get some extra things if they're not going to budge on price. Say they're stuck at the 25,000 and you were like, okay, how about floor mats, running boards, or tint the windows or whatever. That's different ways that they can kind of make it through it, and it helps you, it helps them, gets you a deal and gets you what you're looking for also. So that's something that's good. And then you're going to be bombarded in the finance office with extended warranties and windshield warranties or windshield products inside to help with spills and carpet and blah, 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 blah. So just be ready for that. They are very high pressure, and they're going to just add that on to your monthly payment. So say they did get you at that $500 monthly payment. They're going to say, well, it's only going to cost you 20 more bucks a month for the entire term to have this extended warranty, or $530 for extended warranty and this interior warranty, or the warranty for the wheels, or whatever. So I always stay away from that if I can. It's something that they are very good at coaxing you into, because they're just saying, hey, it's just $20 or $30 more a month. But if you do the math over a certain amount of years, that's going to cost you a lot more. So I always stay away from that stuff. Extended warranties are usually no good. I've heard instances where they have an extended warranty and then the shop won't honor it either. So just make sure that you do your due diligence. Make sure you're buying a good vehicle before you buy it, and make sure there's no massive issues with it, like a recall or anything that's been widely known to the public about these vehicles. And you shouldn't need the extended warranty anyways. Do your service at a different dealership, or not actual big dealership. I always go to like a more of a small town kind of shop. They're usually going to give you a better hourly rate, and it'd just be much better off. So if you can do the work yourself like I do, that's what I plan to do too. So I always try to do that. I do my oil changes most of the time myself, and little things that I can. I'm planning on doing a turbo on my car soon, but yeah, the other things like tires and alignments I can't do, obviously, because I don't have an alignment rack. Then I'll take it in. But yeah, so there's some different things you guys can kind of mow over before you guys go buy a car. It definitely can be a little stressful going in and not knowing what to expect and just being pushed into something. So just know what you're getting into, and don't over stress about it. Have fun. Make sure you're buying the right vehicle, and yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.